So, I'm going to discuss a really interesting insight that I've had today. Today and the following last week, I had a really interesting insight. You interested? You down? 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 Okay. So, most people I've seen who are teaching pickup or good communication or oratory skills or selling or personal growth or self development or anything in this area, they're all basing their high communication uh, growth, their high communication delivery on the way you are communicating, uh, and particularly your intonations. So, when I am talking to you guys, I'm talking from I'm talking in a more resonant manner, which is of course very important, and I'm talking in a more dominant and a more certain, as well as a little bit more downward inflection uh, manner. Now, what's more important here is, although we understand the dynamics in a linear fashion, you see what upward inflection is, you know what a normal inflection is, and what a downward inflection is. And then you understand a little bit more about positive dominance and the inflection in that. What's more important coming forward is we understand that we need to get a little bit more sense of the personality of your voice. And what does that mean? That involves everything from your belief systems, your engagement of your vocal cords, how you present you are, how engaged you are with your uh, muscles of your brain, how present in the moment you are. You're not deluding yourself, or diluting your attention into different facets of your egoic needs slash personal wants and desires, and you're immersed in the moment just because you want to be immersed in the moment, and you're doing that with the immense passion and grit and intensity, because that's the only thing that matters right now. By the way, it also brings comes down to charismatic expression, everything from high status communication to getting what you want. Ironically, you gotta unplug from all that lost mental bandwidth, and you gotta immerse into the process, into what you're doing right now. So, what I'm gonna talk about today is going from a little bit more ballistic side of things to understanding how uh, we need to be expressing ourselves from a 3D perspective point of view. So, whenever these concepts are taught, they're taught in a linear fashion. Linear fashion means they say this is the line, your tone is going upwards, it's flat, or it's downwards. No, actually, that's a good model to learn initially, and you can understand. It's a simplified model, so you can understand better at that time. But in practice, what makes a more holistic and a more well groomed and a well rounded way of expression is actually going in your body and understanding what the facets of what is more inherent to that expression that leads you to do that. That what comes first. It's not the expression of how you speak, but where it's coming from. So fixing that is gonna give you a huge advantage, because you are not just mimicking the behavior, but you are being the person who would display that behavior. And behavior is not just one static line of one single thing, upward inflection, normal inflection, or downward inflection. It's the being reflects behaviorals in it's a multi-dimensional thing. So you would reflect behaviors in one aspect, in the other aspect, and it will be united at the same time. It will, because you're not trying to like monitor yourself, or you're not trying to like micromanage your behavior, but you're trying to be the thing which where the whole behavior comes together at once, not being chunky, not being clunky, not being you doing one thing, managing this behavior this time, the other behavior this time, and that is just uh, trying to run like a well oiled, well designed machine, but you're just mimicking it, but you're not being the machine, which actually is easier. Once you become the machine, you do all the behaviors of what is expected out of it. Anyhow, that's a different topic. So what I'm going to discuss right now is the personality behind your expression of that being. So I imagine it, and I can also let other authors quote on me on this, but it's like a ball of energy which is revolving. It's like I can feel in my body where that energy is, and I can go and tap into that, and I'm just letting it flow and feel into it and come it through my expression when I'm talking into the camera or into the moment and immerse into the moment. I'm feeling that energy, trusting that that energy is right. I trust myself and my faculties that that energy is doing good for me coming forward. And yeah, it's just flowing through me. So that 3D voice is gonna give you a well-rounded expression of how that thing should come out. And uh, it's like an ebbs and flows in that energy, which comprises of all the mentality of how you want to be in the moment. You have a particular way of expressing, that's all good, but it's like the you want to be the expressor, and you have the mentality that you are only going to engage in win-wins, and you're going to show the other person a really good time. You're going to give them value, and you're also going to have a win by yourself. You have boundaries where you also value yourself entirely, in synergistic manner, and that's where you go from. This is this part one, like a primer of this personality 3D voice expression, and the view of how I view internal image of my uh, expressive self. And I will go into more details in the upcoming module. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned.